Today, I would like to welcome Luisa Yu to the podcast. Luisa, I'm delighted to have you on the podcast with me today. To be honest, it's quite an honor. And you are a travel agent. Your passion is travel. You have the kudos of having traveled to 193 countries. I'm just thrilled that you get to be on the podcast to talk about your experiences with us today. Thank you.
It's my pleasure, Claire.
Thank you. And I wanted to start by asking you a question, which is literally, what is important about traveling for you?
For me, traveling makes me uh, be a humble person and be able to see the world through my own eyes and being with the people and seeing the and seeing the cultures and all this beautiful landscape that give me so much happiness. For me, that is why I've been traveling.
Mm. And your very first country, I think I'm correct in saying, was from the Philippines, where you were born and raised, to
Y-
America. Is that correct?
Yes, that was my first country is the US. I was I applied because I was also fascinated with America, where I when I was young in the Philippines, I was 23 years old. Even younger than that, I was always dreaming because don't have library, we don't have any means of movie, television at the time, or the only means of seeing these amazing places is through movies. So I used to go, and because my one of my family cousin has a movie theater, so I went to see all this cowboy, Indian, Tarzan, and I keep on dreaming. I said, "Wow, that's a beautiful place to see. I want to go there someday." That was my dream.
Mm. And so you literally fulfilled that dream in your 20s, and you've lived in America ever since, is that right? In the state of
Yes,
Florida.
I applied for exchange student in St. Louis, Missouri, and that's where I started. And after I finished my studies and training, I decided to move to a warmer climate because being in the Philippines, we don't have winter, we don't have snow, and I was too cold for me, during winter time. So I decided to find some place where it will be warmer, similar to the Philippines. So everyone that I know suggested to me, go to Florida. I said, where's Florida? It's in the, south of, and then it's the climate there is nice and it's all no winter. I said, okay. So that's how I started is I applied for job in the hospital because previously, before I become travel agent, I studied to be a medical technologist, um, and that's the job that I have. That when I finish, I apply in Miami, and I was accepted in Jackson Memorial Hospital for train. So that was my first job. And since then, I love the weather. I love the places. Remind me of the Philippines. I love the people because it's a mix, ethnic, all kinds of people that's from South America. We have some Asian people, just everywhere. We have African people. So it's a mixed group. And I really enjoy living in Miami. And also the food and everything is similar to me.
Wow. So is that what, because I've been curious about the fact that you made one home in the state of Florida, and although you've been to all these other countries, you haven't ever moved to another country. Have you been tempted to move to another country?
Yeah, one time I said, oh, maybe I should, when I see places that I really, really like. And I said, maybe someday I can retire here, Few of the country that I visited were, uh, I would say one of them was in Chiang Mai, Thailand. I like the weather. I like the food. I like the people. And another place was in Italy. I love Italy in Europe. I must have been to Italy many times, and the same thing. I love for the cultures, the food, and it's amazing country. That offers a lot of things that I have always dreamed of. And South America too is very nice, and like Argentina, I dream about also retiring there. But then I mean, especially it's close to us here in the US. So, but now that I'm at this age, I don't know. Maybe I still want to, but let's see how the future tells me.
Mm. And would you like to disclose your age?
I just turned 80 in April,
Mm.
and I have such my daughter give me a party with 80 people, and I have such a great time. I mean, she was gonna surprise me in the beginning, but then she realized that, oh, my mom always travel, even her birthday. So I better tell her that it's not a secret anymore. Otherwise, she would not be here. I'm planning this party. So she told me, Mom, I'm gonna have a birthday for 80 years old. I said, okay. Oh, I have so much fun. It was a blast. Everybody enjoyed, and we had a good time with music and food and everything.
That's incredible.
Uh,
And she had to do that to make sure you're in the country because
yes, she has to.
you have some imminent travel plans already for this year, don't you? What
Oh,
what what
yes, I
what are
I
your
already
plans?
have quite a bit, but I think two of them are for sure. That's I'm going to have a trip next month to Russia. Planning some friends since I've been to 193 country. We have this a group of friends that are also 193, and we become so close. So we exchange, a trip that somebody's going here if anybody's interested. So I thought, hey, I haven't been out. Oh, the one that I have. So I said it's going to some part in Russia and South, um, and I just applied for my visa. Hopefully, it will be on time, before we leave. And I just been to Pakistan. Oh, I love Pakistan and the northern side. Such a wonderful country. It has everything there: landscaping, the cultures, and the food, and the people. It's one thing I love: traveling and meeting people, interacting with them, and just to have how they feel and what they have in their life. So those are make me happy too to interact with the people.
Mm.
And we had such a good time in Pakistan. I had been to that mountain, the at Karakoram Highway. We took that. Also, we participated in the one of the Kalas Festival, Spring Festival, which is the one of the tribal there in Pakistan. So beautiful, so colorful. I enjoy that much.
Excellent.
Uh,
And one of the things about you traveling means, from the sounds of it, you probably spend as much time out of America as you do in America. Which,
yes, most of the time. I've been also travel. I think I have two or three, only two or three more states to finish in the US because uh, on my earlier time when I just finished school and start working in Miami, I don't have too much money to spend like I do now. I was saving my money. So, and also the other problem was visa issue because when you apply to be a permanent resident, then all your papers submitted and you cannot travel out of the country. So that time I said I need to go for my vacation or for a trip. So I decided to take a Greyhound bus, which is the most economical way to do it, for maybe 3 weeks, 1 year, and another 2 weeks, another year. So I went from one state to another, So that's what I was able to accomplish 45, states, and it was interesting, and I really enjoyed because, like I said, everything was budget at the time. I was backpacking, and when I travel at that time, because limited in budget, sometimes I would schedule my, see which is the longest time to go from one city to another. So I usually took the nighttime bus so I can sleep in the bus instead of going to hotel. So that's one of the things that I did. And I really enjoyed that time because I met a lot of traveler like me, mostly European, they come to the US and they're doing the same thing. And we have so much fun. That's one thing about traveling. You never know who you're gonna meet, and you're gonna have a good relationship with them. And even now, I still correspond to some of them.
That's incredible. And didn't you be a little bit rebellious during COVID and travel across America during that time?
Oh
You
yes,
weren't
I
going to
was.
let COVID stop you.
No, a friend of mine is also a well-traveled lady. She sent me a message. She said, Luisa, do you want to go with me on a trip, on a road trip? I said, where are we going? She said, we're going to go to National Park in South Dakota because at that time there was you cannot go out of the country. Everything is closed. No airlines or plane is leaving the US. I said, you know what? I thought about it. I said, I'm not gonna stuck home. So I said, yes, I will go with you. He said, we're gonna fly to, in the Midwest, and then we start to rent a car, and we're gonna be driving around for. I think we did it in almost 5 weeks or 6 weeks. So I said, okay. And in the meantime, I did not tell my daughter that I had this plan. So when it was getting close, and I said to her, by the way, I'm leaving, I'm traveling. They said, what? I said, well, a friend of mine have invited me, and I already arranged everything. I already got the ticket. Said, oh my God, Mom, don't go. She was almost in tears. She said to me, Mom, you know that it's COVID time. I said, oh, I'll be careful. Don't worry about it. So what she did, she called my doctor, I think, because in my I got his phone call. It was my doctor, and she was telling me, Luisa, I heard something that you're planning to travel. And I said, oh, I guess I know who told you that. And then she said, oh, don't go, don't go. I said, I kind of didn't say nothing. They said to me, you know, that people are dying. I said, yes, I know. But anyway, we ended up. I did not say yes. I did not say no. So I just said, okay. So I did it. And it was so nice because we have so much fun, and there was no line, no cars, nobody, almost empty. So we would just go from one national park to the others and visit the city. I mean, it was amazing. And we just enjoying ourselves, especially but we were very careful. We wear the mask and we follow everything what they told us to do, and everything went smoothly. And after that, I did again a second time because we enjoyed so much. Because this time we went somewhere in Puerto Rico, so which is not that far. So we did quite few trips together until when the COVID was a little bit lifted and we can start going out of country, so we start also making some plan to go to Africa.
Mm,
So that was, quite an adventure.
amazing. And in terms of continents, when you've been to the different continents, have you made a point of doing a number of different countries within those continents? So
Oh yes, I finished all the country in that continent, like Africa, for example. They have 54 countries. I finished them all. I was my last country there was Eritrea. It was quite challenging because getting the visa, took me more than 6 weeks, and I thought I was not going to get it. It is called the North Korea of Africa. Everything there is restricted. The government, you cannot use this, you cannot do that. But it's such an amazing country. I enjoy the culture there. I enjoy the all these things that the nature of the mountain, and that was kind of difficult. Then I went to another place in Ethiopia because I already there to the Dinakil Depression, which is the hottest place on earth. It can go to 42 degrees, up to 45 sometimes. And that was also one of my bucket lists. And then after that, I went to South Pacific, I mean, the Oceania, and I finished all the country there. That one is quite challenging because we encounter hurricane. I mean typhoon in Guam, and we had quite few cancellation, 3 or 4 cancellation on our flight. We have to, rebook our flight. It was kind of stressful because we are in the schedule, and our schedule has to be, we're gonna be here, we're gonna be there, and all the flight we already booked and we already paid, and all the hotel. So it become like a domino effect when the thing happened, and we just have to scramble and see what we're gonna do next, because it was difficult at that time because the airport is closed or there's no flight going there. And so we lost a lot of money there because we have to buy new ticket, and all the flight that we have are non-refundable. So we didn't finish that part, but I have the last one was in Timor Leste. So I said, well, if we cannot finish, we cannot just finish. So we separate with my friend. I travel with my good friend. And then I said, I will just decide to come back again another time. For me, that was the most challenging, trip of all because, and also one country that is the need a visa, and the visa took a long time, and it was but the people on this island are so warm. That's one thing that I enjoy so much. They were so welcoming. Even though I met them the first time, they invite us to their house, they cook for us. It's really quite a adventure and experience in my life to have those kind people to be able to treat us, their hospitality.
mm,
Yeah, that's amazing. And then the last one that I have, my last trip last year when I was deciding, I have 3 countries left, and that was in after I finished the South Pacific. The country was Trinidad Tobago, and Serbia, and also Andorra. So during my trip, I developed a lot of friends. That they call me Mama because I'm the oldest. And they all send me message, text. Mama, I know you're finishing your country. Which is your last country? And I said, I thought about Trinidad Tobago because it's closer to Miami. And then everybody said, no, 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 don't make it in, Trinidad Tobago. It comes to Serbia because, Serbia is close to us. They're from Europe. and we will meet you at the airport, and I'm going, and we're gonna have party. And so everyone texting me, come, Mama, come to Serbia, because there was another guy that I met that lives in Serbia. He also sent me text, come, I'm gonna take you around in Serbia. So I thought about it. I said, yeah, okay. Since I have some friend, and I said I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go first to Trinidad and Tobago, which I did, and then I said I plan to go to the other part that I missed. That are the two countries. So when I arrived in Serbia, oh, it was a big surprise. I didn't know that they have made such a huge plan for me with balloons, with all kinds of things, And when I came out from the airport, everybody was clapping, and they have balloons. They even have a tiara for me. And I said, oh my God, I said, I cannot believe this, and they have the sign, but everything. And they said, okay, because it was already at 7 or 7:30, said, we're gonna go directly to the restaurant. I said, oh my God, I did not know that you planned this. They were laughing. You see, Mama, we want you to come here, So we went to the restaurant, one of the nicest restaurant there, and we have some a big uh, delicious Serbian food. And everybody they recognized and said, oh, she's the lady that has finished last country. And then one of my friends, she's a social media, the lady from Croatia. She's a big blogger and social follower. She sent it in her Instagram. Everybody was asking her, where is she? Where is she? And that's how I become famous, because it caught the attention of the media. And they say, we want to see her. We want to give her interview. So everybody at the restaurant, they were cheering for me. It was like a big party for me. And then my friend, because there were four of them, and they say, I think she was getting a lot of information that people wants to interview. And she told my other friend, and she said, okay, let's do this. I will be the one responsible for organizing. We're going to do a teamwork. I organized her interview. And the other guy who lives in Serbia, I said, I have my car, so we'll take her around. So it was perfect for them, but was not perfect for me, because I've never had, this kind of uh, experience in my life. I said, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to say anything. I said, why did you, why did you do the appointment? He said, well, everybody's asking, At that time, I have 8 live interview on television in Serbia. And then they put me on the front page of their newspaper the next day, to say that we are so proud that Miss Luisa Yu finished her 193 countries in Serbia, and, we're proud of her. And, she's one of the, we just give us this honor to be here in this country. So every time most of the time when I walk on the street, some people recognize. They say, "Can we have selfie with you? Can we have selfie?" So that's how it started. That everybody recognized me, and they put it in the news. They put this, and then there was also another interview that the School of Tourism said we want her to give a speech to the students. So, and I said, I don't know how to make a speech. My friend said, it's too late. You already said yes for you. I said, oh my God, why did you do that? He said, well, Luisa, you're so famous now here in Serbia. And I said, oh my God, I don't know what to say. He said, don't worry, just be natural. Just tell them your story. And that's it. So I went there. Oh, what a reception I got. They have all the school uh, principal and everybody, and they greeted me, and they gave me some present, and then they escorted me to the auditorium to talk. At the same time, also another TV station wants also to interview me. As my teamwork said, she has no more time. She has to go to the school. He said, well, if she's going to the school, this is the best time to have her interview in our station. Could we go to the school? So he got the permission from the school and they let her do it. So while I was doing my speech on the stage was being televised also. So it was unbelievable. I said, oh God. So
So
everything was so nice.
mm, how does it feel to have turned into this overnight sensation and you
Oh,
know,
I was kind of, you know, it's overwhelming. I didn't know what to do. And I said, oh my God, I don't know that. I never dream about it. I said, this is not part of my bucket list. The only thing I wanted in my life is to fulfill my dreams when I was young, to see every country in the world. So this is just an extra, how you said, bonus that came to my life. I said, oh my God, and all over. And when I came to Miami, it got into the television, and they sent me a message. I was being interviewed on Channel 6. Then I have interview in Channel 10, the Weather Channel. So I got so many interviews that I never thought about it. I said, oh gosh, I came to my house with the camera and everything. I said, I never, I never expect this to happen in my life. So every now and then I will get a news, and some people from some countries said, oh, Luisa, we saw you in Peru. And then they would send an article to their friend. He said, look, Mama, your friend Luisa is here in the news. So everybody's sending me from Singapore, from Portugal, from everywhere in the world. And even now, I've been getting so many. Just lately, last week, I got another uh, features in their magazine. So they keep on sending me. I said, wow. And somebody said they can never get enough of Luisa. Every now and then. I said it's more than 6 months already since I came back, or it's like, and I'm still, so far um, being, on the news.
you're still in
And then you
demand.
came to, yes, so it's really, quite an experience for me in my life, which I did not expect this kind of, being a sensation, overnight.
Absolutely.
uh,
And one of the things that's important to you, given your passion is travel, is sharing that with other people. So is that what had you switch from the medical environment into tourism and into becoming a travel agent?
it was not easy when I was working in the medical field. It's a little bit difficult because working in the medical field, it's a 24 hours, service. You have a three different shift: 7 to 3, 3 to 11, 11 to 7. So it's a rotation of people working. And also, since I have to work a 9 to 5 job, it's difficult because to travel, you have to make arrangements in advance, like 2 months, because they have to rotate, the employee who's gonna take this time and this month. So for me, it was kind of difficult situation that every time I ask for day time off, because me, I love to travel. They always say, "Oh, again?" He said, "You've been taking too much. You have to give your other coworker time off also. You cannot take everything all the time." I said, yeah, but I have some time off vacation, even though you don't pay me. He said, no, 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 because we need, rotation, and it's important for us in the hospital to have a staff to be working. So it's kind of difficult. So I start thinking, what could I do to, change something different? So I start working as I went to a travel agency. A friend of mine recommended me, and she said, Luisa, if you like, you can come and we can train you. And I said, oh, that's wonderful. She said, but we cannot pay you. I said, yeah, that's fine. I have time, after my job, and I can learn a little bit about the travel agency. And then at the same time, during that time, at night because I was single and didn't have any responsibility. Then I start going to school to learn about tourism, So that's how it started. Until finally, there was a time that I got tired of asking, time off every time I have to make, asking that I want to go here. And I couldn't do it because I'm only allowed like 3 weeks in a year. So that's why I changed my career. And now I become independent. So I go whenever I want to do. And then I become self-sufficient with my job and, working and be able, during my time also when I was working 2, 3 jobs at the same time. I was saving money. So that's how I was able to, afford or, for my travel time.
Mm,
So it's a
yeah.
lot of sacrifices and perseverance, but you can do it, anybody can do it.
Mm,
Uh,
yeah. And that was because you were that committed to fulfilling your dream to travel. So
yes.
you set up a life to make it happen.
Yes, yes, that's my dream. I said, whatever it takes, I want to fulfill my dream, So that's why,
Mm,
even I said, if I went out of money, I have my profession, I can always go back again to work.
mm,
So, but it took me a long time, it's not easy. Like I said, I have a full-time job and then also I become a single mom. I have to take care of my daughter, all the responsibility. I can just leave her and say, okay, I'm traveling because I need for my dream. I have to make arrangements who's going to take care of her when I'm gone. And then I have an obligation to give her education, to, give her, things that good for her future, that she was able to finish up her, he has a good education. That's for me is very important. So
mm,
that's why it took me a long time, slowly, that's everybody said, oh my God, it's 50 years. Yes, it's 50 years of my time, to finish it. But nowadays, everybody is doing it, more faster because of the technology. You have technology, you Google it, you say, during my time, we don't have technology. I have to depend on encyclopedia, library. I have to use we don't have digital camera. We don't have iPhone. So I take some instamatic pictures sometimes, and some of them, because they're printed, we have hurricane, Florida is prone for hurricanes. So we have a big hurricane that it got flooded. Some of my picture were, thrown away because it was wet. I said, oh my God, my memory, but it still have it in my mind, all this good time that I have. And some of them I was able to save. And so now that's why when they ask me for a certification, I said, "Oh my God, what should I do?" Luckily, I have my passport with me, and they have some stamps, so I was able to show them the dates I was there in, what country. And some of them, I was able to save maybe some airline ticket that they never thought I have still have that for 30 years. Pan Am, remember Pan Am were still flying that time and say, oh gosh, look at her, she was able to save there's some few things as a souvenir that I saved. I showed them this is what I got from this country. So that's why they believe it.
This is when you were proving that you'd been to
Yes, I've been to,
193
yeah,
countries. Yeah. And
yeah,
and
they
and
asked me.
and this is with Nomad Mania.
Nomad Mania,
Yeah.
yeah.
So uh, tell us a little bit more about Nomad Mania because you have to have proved your travel to be part of Nomad Mania, don't you?
Yes, yes, it's a very prestigious organization run by Harris, and he's the founder. And everything that they put in Nomad Mania has giving a lot of people some all kinds of information about traveling region, very detailed. It's not like you say, okay, I've been to Africa, but its country, not only you're gonna say I've been to Eritrea or I've been to South America, I mean South Africa, there's some little country there that you have to check, that if you've been there. So it's a kind of, making how many countries and places that you have to put in Nomad Mania. So it's a lot of people who has done it, more than I do, because they are more uh, going into the detail about it. And so it becomes now that everybody wants to be in Nomad Mania, and it's a little bit different from other organization, because it give you a lot of detail where you've been, so you have to keep up, or you're up to update, what country and what places in that country that you've been to.
Absolutely.
Yes, but like I said, it's composed of very well-traveled people mostly.
Mm, yeah.
I'm amazed sometimes, when I look at those, when I look at their name and everything they've been to this, I say, wow, it's a lot. It's a lot to learn about the country, not only because you've been in that country, it's so many little detail. But there are some countries there's nothing really to say, because let's take, for example, when I was in Oceania, like Tuvalu, there's nothing there, that you can put more except the country. I was there for, I think in one day it's enough. You can finish the whole island from the north to the south. Maybe. I would say an hour, So I just took a ride on a motorcycle with somebody and take me from my, and that's done. But the only problem is we cannot leave right away, because the flight doesn't go every day, so you got stuck there. So that's why it's a really bit challenging. And sometimes not only you get stuck, because it's like once a week or twice a week. Sometimes the airline, when you get there, they cancel it. So I mean, it's sometimes very, very frustrating, and not only nerve-wracking if you will make it or not. And that's how it is. So that one is easy, but to get there, and to get out is a little bit, difficult. I
Mm,
had been sometimes, one country that I was supposed to go, they canceled last minute. I said, "Oh my God, what I'm gonna do?" That's in So those are the risks, or the things that that we encountered. So everywhere is not the same.
mm. And
Yeah.
what kind of preparation do you undertake before you go to a country? Do you research the country? What do you do
Yes.
before you go?
Yes. Usually, I research what is there to see and what is there to do. And then sometimes we have this other organization called every passport stamp. And if I'm not so sure, or I need more information, I would ask them. I said, "Hey, listen, you have a guide there to help us to go around." So everybody will send a message. Yes, we do, So we help each other, So which is very helpful for us, to
Mm,
travel to this point, because it's difficult, if you don't, some of these places, you never heard of, But we like challenge,
mm.
We like to go to places that not too many people go.
And is
Uh,
there somewhere that, maybe you've been to all these countries, but is there a region or a particular thing you still really wish to see? That you think, oh, I still haven't been there and I still really want to see that.
Yes, like in Russia, for example, there's still some region. That's why I'm going this time um, to the South of Sicily. It's called the South. It's a little bit difficult to go there, and like I said, it's not easy. You have to. It's a Mary. You have to plan it, and know what you're doing and where you're going. But luckily, since I've been with this group of people, there's only four of us actually, and they invited me to go, and he already contacted the guide, and everything is done. But it's just difficult to go there, so it's a lot of connection on the flight, from Miami, and he already got the booking and everything. So for me, those are places that I really wanted to see, that region, and
Mm,
also the one that we're going in Somalia. That is also another challenging place, I heard, but I said, why not? Why I still can do it right now? I'm 80 years old. Maybe, thing will change. So never knows, what's going to happen. Why I can still do it? I would like continue traveling.
mm. Yeah, yeah, I love how you don't let anything stop you. Um, and
Right.
um, and what would you say to other people? Because you really do have this while I can attitude, and you are very
Yeah,
committed to that people fulfill their dreams and nothing gets in the way. Things get in the way, but your ethos is that you don't allow it to stay in the way, you deal with it.
that's right. I always tell people, that when you have the time, the possibility to do it, don't wait for anybody, because sometimes, like you make some plan with other people. And for example, this trip that I had to Somalia, we're planning to go with a friend, and all of a sudden she backed out in the last minute. And I said, you know what? If she cannot do it, it doesn't stop me. Just go, because you know everything can happen. This is your opportunity to do it now. So I just continue doing it, and also after that, I'm going to some. I'm going back. I'm going to Ethiopia. I want to see the tribes in the Omo Valley, and since it's not coming, it doesn't stop me. I said, okay, I'll continue. Doesn't mean that since I'm by myself, it's not. I'm not going. So I just keep on going. So that's why I said, don't wait and, just go. Don't, say that, oh, maybe next time I'll go. If you have the time now, do it.
Mm,
That, that's
absolutely.
what, yeah, it's time is precious, and it's there's so many times that I have, I have a lot of opportunity to travel, and I miss it because at the time I was working. Of course, it's my work comes first, and a lot of times that I want to go, and I have some people wants me to go, but then I told them I cannot do it, because you're committed to work. It's different from now that I'm more free to, I'm independent, so I can do whatever I want.
Mm. And have you done many trips on your own, or do you generally go in
Yes, I
company of
did.
someone?
Yeah, mostly it's half and half. Some of them I go in a group. It depends, like if somebody invited me and say, okay, we go together and you want to join us, I said yes, because it's also good for reason that it's cheaper that way. You save some money, and you already got someone to take you, and all you have to do is just, go with the group. And there are times that I like to go somewhere in some places. And nobody wants to go the time that I want. So I just do it myself. Like my last few countries in Africa, I did it by myself. I go from one place and I did everything for me because I want to finish that time. I said I need to finish Africa. Africa is the biggest continent. There's 54 countries there, so it's kind of difficult. 54 countries,
Mm,
but timing also is important. So if you have the time, some people doesn't have the time, so it's not able to get someone to go with you.
mm.
Mm.
And what are some of the discoveries you've made that that you sort of really kind of have noticed from this extensive experience of traveling so widely?
I found out that everybody or every people that I travel in this country, have the, have the same dream like we do. They want for a better life, better opportunity, and that's how I learned from this experience that I've been traveling, and everybody has the same dream.
Mm,
It just when lucky that you know uh, I was able to do what I really wanted to.
mm, exactly. Yeah, yeah. And when you were a young man, did you used to, you mentioned that you'd make sure your daughter was well looked after, but did you sometimes take her with you when she was
Yes,
little?
when when she was young, she has no choice. I would take her to uh, Machu Picchu. She's not a well traveled like me. She has a different, likes, in her life. And I respect it. Because everyone is not the same. But I tried when she was young. I took her to a few countries, and then so I would ask her, where do you want to go? I said, oh, I want to go to China, or I want to go to Italy. I want to go to. So I took her around, and we have a good time. So it was something that we travel in her younger years. And sometimes, even though she don't want to go, she has no choice. She was young at that time. But now she has a mind of her own. She can decide where she wants to go. So that's one thing about my daughter.
Mm,
But
yeah.
important. I give her all my love. I give her all my support. And, even though, I was a single mom, it was not easy, but I made it.
Mm, yeah. What I admire is that you made it so that you took care of your daughter in a way that
Yes,
you're happy about,
yes,
but that
I'm
you
happy.
also fulfilled on something that was important to you. It doesn't sound
Yes,
like, I'm not denying that there weren't challenges and sacrifices, but it doesn't sound like you sacrificed yourself um, in any way. It sounds like you still fulfilled on what was important to you.
yes, yeah, I did because I figure out, aside from, giving her my support, I said I want also to have my life, fulfill what I want to do, but I have to make plan. It wasn't easy. And for me, it was also like traveling, a challenge. How to make it happen that she is also at the same time, somebody responsible for her while I'm gone. So it's not easy. And
Mm,
when I was working, there was another thing too. When I was working, luckily I was able to bring her to where I work in the hospital because they have some, daycare center. So I will drop her, and then when she was young, and then after work I will pick her up. So it was more convenient.
mm,
Um, it's hard, it's difficult. Nothing is easy, but if you have the will, I mean, there's a way.
yeah. Absolutely. And you're definitely a demonstration of that, because you don't let anything stop you. Um, and
No,
and you've shown how much of this world can be discovered. And although I focus primarily on people who've moved countries, and I really am happy that you've shared in the whole experience of travel, because not everybody wants to move countries, or maybe they move for a couple of months or several years or
yes,
whatever. But a lot of people want to travel. And so I think it's really inspiring and very heartening to hear how accessible you make it sound. You know, you're not denying that there are challenges and things that go wrong, but that it's not insurmountable to make
mm.
things happen.
Yeah, even one time, with I I I did a skydive in Dubai. That was another things that I found out after I sign in and I say I want to do it. Then they send me a note that I have to have my doctor signed an approval. I said, what is this, And they told me that anybody who's 70 years old, they need a doctor certificate. I said, oh my God, So anyway, I sent the paper to my doctor office, and I never heard from him. So finally, I called him up. I said to the secretary, what's going on? I sent you the paper. I need that paper signed. He said, doctor, said, you're not jumping. I said, what do you mean, MJ? He said, you cannot do it, I said, well, I have some kind of a little bit health issue, that it tried to prevent me not to go. And I said, no, I wanted to go. It's already been paid, and this is one of He said, so what should I do? He said, you have to come to the office, talk to him. So I said, well, okay, I'll go. So I went there to the office, and he just kind of, I waited, I have an appointment. I waited, and then he was just going back and forth, So I said, my God, it's already 4 hours I've been here. He hasn't talked to me. So I asked the secretary, I said, do you know that, did he know that I'm here? I said, yes, he's know, you're here. And I said, okay. So I waited. And after everybody was gone, he called me to his office, So he said, okay, so I heard that you want to do something, I said, yes. I said, no, you cannot do it, Luisa. You're 70. At the time I was 77. And then, I have some kind of a health, of course, when you go older, you got high blood pressure and all those things. And I said, oh my God, doctor, it's in my bucket list. I said, please sign this, please sign. I wanna do it. He said, oh, Luisa, you can't, and I give him, this is my bucket list. And he said to me, okay, I'll sign. I said, oh, what make him sign? I said, how about if I, sign a waiver, for you, you're not responsible, he thought about it in the minute, and he said to me, do you really want to do it? I said, yes, I wanted it. It's in my bucket list. So finally he said, okay, just be careful, So he asked the secretary, he said, just put a note here that Luisa, said that she will waive, any responsibility. I said, okay, good. So I did it, I was so happy that he let me do it. It was awesome. Everybody said, were you afraid? No, because it was in my bucket list. Ever since, I always wanted to do it, to jump.
And have you done everything on your bucket list, pretty much?
Pretty much, there's some few that I want to do, but it's not that if I can make it, that's fine. If I cannot make it, it's okay. Like, for example, which one is the bucket list that I wanted to do? This coming trip to okay, I know what it is. One of my bucket lists, I said, my friend went to Nam. She just left, and she sent me a message or in picture that she took a first class, first class with Emirates. Oh, she was showing off. Everything was, nice, and said it's nice, to travel someday that you can lie down, you can be served and everything. I'll put it in my bucket list, I told her.
Excellent.
So, so that's just a bucket list,
To fly first class with Emirates.
Yes, I have taken business, but this time I said, why not? But I don't know if it's gonna happen. It happened. If not, it couldn't be.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's just few things to think I have done almost everything that I really wanted to do. And like now, I'm going to see the tribes. I like tribes, so it's also one of my bucket list to go to see these tribes in Omo Valley. And also maybe after this, maybe I'll go more for tribes, because I like, those kind of things in traveling. You learn a lot, and, it's different.
It's incredible. What a life you've lived.
A lot of things, a lot of sacrifices, but you can make it. Anybody can do it. like I said, age is just a number, so people can they can do it. And a lot of, in the beginning when I was traveling, sometimes I go with a group of people, and then I'm the oldest. Sometimes I feel, oh my God, I don't know if they will accept me for this because they never knew they getting to in a group. And I said, gee, I'm a little bit embarrassed or afraid of this. But not at all. They really embrace me, like they just say, Mama, we love you. We want to travel with you. So I travel again, some of them, and they were the people that told me, go to Serbia, your last country, we will celebrate. I thought celebration was only going to dinner and that's about it. They will
Mm.
meet there. But I didn't realize they have this plan that they made for me. And Serbia was a party place, by the way. They love party. So after that party we went to another party. We went to another party. And then there are young guys, that most of them under 20s. And I said to them, we were 2 o'clock in the morning. I said, hey, listen, do you have to go to school? Yes, we're going to school. I said, oh, what time? 7 o'clock in the morning. I said, look at this, it's 2 o'clock. He said, don't worry, we're young, we can manage. So have a good time, It was great. I think that was so memorable to me. I'll never forget Serbia. Yeah, that's, I did not really dream about it, what happened to me in Serbia.
Mm.
Such a beautiful people there.
Mm.
And
You're,
then after that, my life have changed. I
mm.
mean, changed because people start to send me messages, all this television interview, the write up and everything. So I said, why? Some people also made it. I said, I don't know, maybe because I'm older and I have inspired a lot of people. That's what they say, that you inspired us, that, we can still do it. Yeah, I said anybody can make it. You just have to make it happen.
Mm. Make it happen. I love that.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you so much, Luisa, for being with me today. It's
Thank you.
lovely to be with you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a big pleasure to